welcome to the 39th Annual Mountain View Commencement Exercises. Will the audience please rise?
Member Ada Wilson, Superintendent Sam Jarman, District Administrators, Principal David H. Smith, teachers, parents, and honored guests, welcome to Mountain View High School's 2018 Commencement Program. 2019. Please remain standing for the national anthem, sung by our Sterling Scholar, Lily R. Jones.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated, and we'll get started. My name is Emma Newby, and I am the Student Body President of Mountain View High School, Class of 2019. And I'm really excited to talk to all of you guys. There are many things that you and I can't choose. We can't choose our age or our foot size. We can't decide the number of freckles on our face or hairs on our head, but we can choose whether or not to rise up to the challenges that life hits us with each and every day. And that is exactly what I've watched these graduates do for the last 3 years. So isn't it fitting that for our senior year, the theme has been Rise Up? To rise up is to become higher than you once were. I've watched that happen at Mountain View as sports have scored, clubs have grown, and scholarships have been won. But the greatest rise up moments at Mountain View High School this year have not been in the glorious victories or the brag-worthy accomplishments, but rather in the lone individuals who have chosen to raise others up. They are those who wrap their arms around others in need, who have gone out of their way to help out a teacher, who've taken the time to look you in the eye and talk to you because you deserve their time and respect, and they know that. These are the people who have truly risen up this year, and many of them are sitting right in front of me as part of the graduating class of 2019. Adil Ahmed once said, "You can rise up from anything. You can completely recreate yourself. Nothing is permanent. You're not stuck. You have choices, you can think new thoughts, you can learn something new. You can create new habits. All that matters is that you decide today and never look back." So I challenge each of you to decide today to rise up, to live a life that you will look back on and be proud of, to lift and build and maybe even discover something brand new. Thank you, Bruins, for rising up this year, and may we always remember that we truly rise by lifting others. We will now give the time to the senior class president, Rebecca Hager, who will conduct the rest of our program.
Hello. The program will proceed as follows. We will first hear remarks from Janelle Zimmerman and Elizabeth Vogel. Then we will have the highlights of the class of 2019 by Brooke Preston, senior class historian. Ruth Patterson will then give the tribute to parents, and Jacelyn Clayton will present the senior class project. We will proceed to this point. Janelle.
In 1947, the world's first general-purpose computer, ENIAC, debuted by calculating a trajectory in 30 seconds, a feat that would have taken a human 20 hours to complete. This revolution in digital technology marked the start of one of the biggest changes in history, one that would alter the very fabric of society. Other changes have forever shifted our country and world. Heroes like Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks pioneered the civil rights movement in the 1950s and 60s, guiding the fight for equality that would eventually put an end to Jim Crow laws in the United States. And just recently, MIT student Katie Bowman, along with 200 other researchers, pieced together the first photo of a black hole, setting the stage for a whole new understanding of the universe around us. Now, it's our turn to make these changes. As we step into a new phase of our lives, one of taxes and college and adulthood, we also inherit a world that is up to us to change for the better. It is up to us to love, to listen, to understand, to think, to accept, to fight for a better future. We will be the change through our unrelenting determination to succeed and work hard, or in how we choose to look at problems through new perspectives. Or maybe we will be the change by the way we treat others and ourselves. Now, perhaps you're listening to me, or perhaps you've fallen asleep already, and you're thinking, Janelle, don't be naive. We're not actually going to change the world. But look at what our class has already accomplished this year. Our boys and girls cross-country team and the men's swim team placed first at regions. Our drama team earned third at the Shakespeare Festival. Marching band won fourth in its division. Math club took home several awards at the I Am Flash competition, and mock trial kicked butt at the quarterfinals. Students competed at nationals for FBLA and FFA, while artwork and photography from our school was selected for the Utah All-State High School Art Show. The jazz band, our men's soccer team, 50 solo and ensemble students, 12 wrestlers, and all the STEM Fair district winners qualified for their state competitions. Students put on plays, participated in the annual LIA conference, sang with the American Choral Directors Association, and raised thousands of dollars for Make-A-Wish. Our peers became first-generation college students, academic all-states, Sterling Scholars, UVU Business Plan honorees, and even National Merit Scholarship finalists. We have survived through mental illnesses, the loss of loved ones, family struggles, and many more challenges that I can't even put into words. This is our grade. We did this. Through the powerful efforts of teachers, faculty, parents, and peers alike, we, Mountain View's class of 2019, have already started developing the skills to become the next generation of scholars and scientists, of athletes and educators, of policymakers and problem solvers. In a world full of challenges, Barack Obama's words ring true. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change. So congratulations, class of 2019. I can't wait to see the future we create.
When Marie Curie discovered radioactivity, she changed the world. When Ruth Bader Ginsburg fought for gender equality, she changed the world. When Henry Ford industrialized the assembly line, he changed the world. But what does it mean then, to change? The dictionary definition of change is to make the form, nature, content, or future course of something different from what it is or from what it would be if left alone. By that definition, when we broke Orm's bleachers 3 times, we changed the world, right? I'm joking, mostly. In all seriousness, though, what is change? Is it the signing of a peace treaty between long-warring nations? Is the discovery of a cure for a deadly illness? Or can it be simpler than that? My great-grandfather grew up in an abusive home with an alcoholic father who would beat him and his family. One night, after his father, in a drunken stupor, chased his mother around the kitchen, he made a decision and, in that instant, made a change. He picked up his father, threw him off the porch, and told him to never come back. From that point on, he changed his life. He rose above his poor circumstances and went to college. He ended the rampant alcoholism so prominent in his family. But most importantly, he ended the cycle of abuse that could have continued on for generations. He changed his life in that moment, but also the lives of generations to come, including mine. It doesn't always have to be the big dramatic actions, though, that can change someone's life. My first day of cross country, we did a much longer run than I was used to. I did pretty well, but as we hit the last half mile, I started to feel a little sick and to slow down. I was far enough behind and I was just a freshman, I thought to myself. And I didn't really know anybody, so they wouldn't even notice if I just stopped and then just didn't come back tomorrow. I got to the point where I was just about to walk when I heard 4 pairs of running shoes stop in front of me. 2 of the girls had run back to help me finish the last 400 meters. It wasn't a big deal for them, but it made all the difference to me. I came back that next day, and the next, and for 4 more years of cross country, all because they came back for me. So what is change? Change is changing the habits of generations. It's running back for a little freshman when they don't think they can go on. It's speaking up when something needs to change. I don't think I've ever been more proud than when I watched 250 students walk out of class and take a stance against school violence, trying to change something that had hit us a little too close to home. We are not complacent. We don't just sit back and accept the circumstances we have been given. We are the change we want to see in the world. I look out across these graduating class and I don't see high school seniors. I see the cure for cancer. I see the end to world hunger. I see the first generation college graduate and the first one sober in generations. I look out across these caps and I see change. But change starts with one thing, and that is a choice. A choice to run back and talk to that one little girl, or to throw that abuser off the porch. Now is our time. Now is our turn to rise up. Thank you.
My fellow seniors, we've made it to graduation. Our years of hard work, study, begging for makeup work, and hoping our parents excuse our absences are finally over. The past 3 years, we've seen and done many incredible things. When we were sophomores, we endured a heartbreaking tragedy. Through this, we unified and became stronger as individuals and as a class. We've studied, we've failed, we've cried, we've laughed, we've performed, and we've succeeded. And most importantly, we've grown together, making friendships I'm certain will last a lifetime. We've also learned some timeless classic dance moves, like the whip, the dab, the floss, and the whoa. But I'm just curious, does anyone actually know how to do the Dougie? Because if you do, teach me how to Dougie. The graduating class of 2019 has undoubtedly been one of the most successful and outstanding classes in Mountain View history. We've accumulated more than $3.2 million in scholarship money this year. This is incredible and a tribute to the amazing people graduating today. In sports, we found success with our boys soccer team, becoming region champs and state semifinalists. We also saw J.R. Hayes destroy a backboard at Cypress High School, and this destruction was highlighted on ESPN. That's a big deal, JR. We also had David Herring win a 4A state wrestling championship in an extremely difficult field. David is the first state champ Mountain View has had since 2014. Way to represent MV, Big Dave. Our various student organizations proudly represented Mountain View. The Math Club, Latinos in Action, FBLA, FCCLA, and many more have flourished and have won countless awards. Yet the last 3 years at Mountain View haven't been a walk in the park. We've been presented with many challenges and obstacles we've had to overcome, like the massive bomb cyclone storm that canceled flights for 116 choir students to Nashville, Tennessee in March. Even a canceled tour didn't stop the choir from excelling, with the a cappella and Cambrio choirs getting superior ratings at State Festival in May. After a much anticipated wait, they eventually made it to the home of country music. In arts, we're excited that Savannah Randall was the state runner-up for Visual Arts Learning Scholar. We're proud that Ben Williams represented us at the state STEM fair, earning 3rd place in biology and biochemistry. Our life skills students participated in volleyball and basketball tournaments, getting 1st place in both. One of the highlights of our year was Wish Week. Do you guys remember those awesome decorations? And how could we forget that we won the Spirit Bowl dance 3 years in a row? I'm very proud to announce that we raised $1,000 for our Wish Kids' dreams to come true. Although we've accomplished a lot during our high school years, this is just the beginning of great things to come. Class of 2019, go out into the world and make a difference for good. You are the bright lights in the otherwise dark world. So now go and light them up. As the famous street poets and philosophers, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis once said, "And we danced and we cried and we laughed and had a really, really, really good time." Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for your love and support as we celebrate the Mountain View class of 2019 and this incredible accomplishment. Now, before we go on any further with the ceremony and celebration, it's our turn to pause and pay tribute to all of the leaders and adults who made all of this possible. First, I want to acknowledge our incredible community. As the class of 2019, we've had a unique high school experience that has taught us strength and unity. The beginning of our sophomore year was struck with tragedy, but parents, leaders, and even the surrounding schools instantly reached out, united in love, teaching us what it means to be Bruin strong. Through every triumph and tragedy that we've gone through, our community has been there to receive and to lift us. Along with our supportive extended community, we have been so blessed to be a part of our tight-knit, family-like Mountain View community. I hope we all realize just how incredible all of our teachers, administrators, and counselors really are. Our teachers are so much more than just educators paid to give us grades and drill subjects. They've become some of our biggest cheerleaders and our closest friends. At every sporting event, concert, and performance, there are always teachers standing among the family and friends, cheering and supporting their students by name. They spend hours before and after school helping students understand material and fix grades, but they also show that they care about our individual success in every other area of our lives. Likewise, our counselors and administrators have always been there willing to help us in every aspect, ensuring that we graduate and succeed, and always standing ready to listen and envelop us with love whenever we are struggling. I also want to acknowledge and thank all of the leaders and examples within our graduating class. We've learned together and we've mourned together, but we've also cheered together and danced together, succeeded in sports and academics, music and all other arts, constantly building each other up. And through these experiences, we've learned what it really means to be resilient and united. Most importantly, we need to thank our extraordinary families, parents, and families. Whether it be the family that you were born into or the relatives and friends that have become your safe haven, we've all been blessed by their loving examples and endless support. Thank you for letting us be children, learning and making mistakes, for picking us up when we fall, and teaching us to never give up. Thank you for teaching us to be compassionate and kind, leading us to choose the harder right rather than the easier wrong. Thank you for putting up with countless nights of homework help, project deadlines, and competitions, and teaching us the value of hard work and commitment. Thank you for making us feel safe and accepted when our confidence fails us. For teaching us how to drive, feeding our growing appetites, and dealing with all of our teenage drama. Thank you for loving us and preparing us to spread our wings and take on the world. Now, can I ask all of the graduates to please stand and join me in appreciation for all of our parents and leaders. It's our turn to honor and cheer for you. Thank you.
My name is Jacelyn Clayton, and I'm the senior class secretary, and I have the honor of revealing the senior class gift. Next year, it will be 40 years since Mountain View first opened its doors. During these 40 years, we've had a lot of change. Corded phones are no longer found in houses, and now smartphones are now found in back pockets. Typewriters are now an antique, as computers have replaced them. And the orchards surrounding Mountain View are now covered in houses instead of trees. Our city, state, school, and world are changing daily.
There is one thing, though, as looking into our past that has never changed. We will never like the Tigers. With all of these changes in mind and moving full speed ahead, it's important that we remember the relics of our past. Our senior class has decided to give the priceless gift of memories to those following in our footsteps by donating funds for a memorabilia wall. This memorabilia wall will have old jerseys, uniforms, pictures, flags, and other items from each decade. It will be located in the lunchroom and in part of the commons. This will be a great way to honor those that have come before us, including our families, friends, and teachers, and it will also help those coming after us to have more pride in their school. Because as they've seen where Mountain View has been, it will help guide them where they want to go. I'm so proud to be part of this class of 2019 that has decided to give the priceless gift of memories. And if any of you here have graduated from Mountain View and you have items that you would like to be placed in the memorabilia wall, please contact administration and hopefully we can get it in. Thank you all for helping to keep the legacy at Mountain View alive.
Next is our symphonic orchestra directed by John Bowman. Following the orchestra, we are delighted to hear from our amazing principal, Mr. David H. Smith, who will forever be a Mountain View Bruin. Following his remarks, we will hear from the member of the Alpine School District Board of Education representing Mountain View High School, Mrs. Ada Wilson, at which point we will have the presentation of the graduates.
What a great sight to look out and see all of you here, especially you students, or former students, I guess. This has been a great year. It's been so much fun and so much learning. Parents, I so appreciate working with your children. Thank you for the opportunity. These students are the best graduates in the world. I want to mention a few things as I begin. First, I want to mention Belinda Tolonia, assistant principal here for the last 7 years. She's leaving us for another opportunity. She'll be the new principal of Warren Junior High, so some of your younger brothers and sisters will be there with her. She's been a great friend and assistant principal, and I've leaned on her these last few years. Mountain View will miss her, and so will I. Thank you, Belinda. Next, I want to recognize Marty Reed, Nancy Kelly, Nathan Kryman, Carmel Clay, Bonnie Davis, and Jolene Mehmet. These individuals are retiring after many, many years serving at Mountain View High School. I've appreciated these individuals and their many years of work. Will you please stand and be recognized? I was an assistant principal here about 20 years ago, and when I was here 20 years ago, those three were here, and then I came back a few years ago, and now they're leaving. Thank you for your service. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change. I've been thinking about that message over the last several weeks, and I decided to interview some juniors and sophomores and have them comment on the quote as it relates to seniors. So I interviewed about 20 of them, and here's their responses. I was hoping for something kind of, profound, and some of them were. Here's what they said. The first one said, "Sounds okay." Huh? Great. Anything more? Nope. Sounds okay. We'll go with it. Seniors are the example for the school. Seniors have made a positive change in my life. They are wise characters. Seniors are different. They are the change. They have fulfilled the quote. How they treat people, how they treat new people. They're so friendly. Seniors are wonderful people. If they choose to be the change, they will be the change. Things they do change the Mountain View atmosphere. They set the tone. Seniors set Mountain View up for future success. They push themselves, so now we have higher expectations. That is a lot to live up to, but you have already done this. Seniors, you've already done this. Where will you go from here? I have a story to tell you. As you seniors know, we're kind of under construction right now at Mountain View High School, and we've been taking down a lot of things so we can finish painting. One of the things that we've taken down is all the signs in the gym, including the signs that recognize our region teams like Payson, Salem Hills, Uinta, etc. One of those teams is Lehigh. We took down all those signs. They're big, probably 4x6 cardboard, kind of heavy cardboard signs, plastic cardboard signs. And we just put them in the lunchroom just to kind of put them off to the side as we're trying to get ready for all the construction, all the painting. And whoever's running hopefully, yes, there it is. So our custodian took them down and just put them in the lunchroom. And that's the outside one. It was just lying there. Now these pictures are a recreation. I had some, as you can see, some of your classmates. They're there kind of posing for this. So there was the last one, the one that everybody saw in the lunchroom, Lehigh. And some kids went over there, and you can show the next slide, went over to the pile of these, started picking through them, and the person watching, it wasn't me, the person watching was like, what are they going to do? Are they going to try to ruin it? Are they going to try to mark it? Are they going to try to take it? What are they going to do? Instead, as they looked through and as they sat there and talked, they went to find the Mountain View one. And next slide. And they put the Mountain View one. Now here's what I would say about that. We thought, when I heard the story, I thought, oh, that's just some kids messing around. And then I heard what they did, and I was like, Oh, I've thought about what they did, those students did, for the last little bit. And here's the interesting thing. I was in the lunchroom before that happened. I saw the Lehigh sign. There's nothing wrong with Lehigh. I saw the Lehigh sign. And guess what I did? Nothing. I didn't think, oh, why doesn't that say Mountain View? I didn't go over and find the Mountain View one, which I knew was there. I just did nothing. Nothing wrong with doing nothing in that situation, but there was something more right, and that is in a Mountain View cafeteria, in the Mountain View lunchroom, it probably should say Mountain View, not Lehigh. They were the change. Those students were the change. They weren't asked to do that. I didn't pull them down to the office and say, hey, would you go down? I didn't ask them to do that. They didn't ask permission. They didn't look around and find someone and say, hey, can we have dinner? No, they didn't ask permission. They saw it, they knew it needed change, and they changed it. They were the change. In our lives, that's all, yes. Students, in your lives, in our lives, you are often going to see something that needs change, whether it be Lehigh to Mountain View, whether it's changing meanness to kindness, changing indifference to caring, dishonesty and lies to honesty, whether you're invited or uninvited, whether it's big or little, it doesn't matter. You can be the change. We are the change. Students, thank you for showing me so much kindness. Thank you for being the change these last few years. Thank you for this year. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being Bruins. Board Member Ada Wilson. Board Member Ada Wilson, Superintendent Sam Jarman, Cabinet Member Elizabeth Wilson, and Tim Brantley, I verify that these students have qualified for a high school diploma by meeting the requirements set forth by the Utah State Board of Education and Alpine School District. I recommend that they be accepted as Mountain View High School graduating class of 2019.
Thank you, Principal Smith. On behalf of the Alpine School District Board of Education, I am privileged to accept your recommendation recognizing the qualifications and accomplishments of this graduating class of 2019. In doing so, let us acknowledge the dedication of Mountain View High School parents, family members, and supportive friends. Thank you for a lifetime of supporting these students. Your love and care is fundamentally what has allowed these students to be here today. Seniors, we also know that the Mountain View administration, faculty, and staff care a great deal about you and your success. With their help, you have learned so much, acquired important skills, and developed many of your unique talents. No amount of money could put the proper value on what they have done for you. To all the Mountain View team, but especially to you teachers, all we can say today is thank you. Seniors, before you leave today, you will become part of a special group, Mountain View alumni. We hope that, like your classmates before you, you will each strive to become active, involved, and informed citizens wherever you choose to live. Indeed, one of the primary purposes of your education has been to equip you with the intellectual skills that you will need to be wise and discerning. Pay attention to the governing process and hold your elected officials accountable for their positions and their votes, including us as a school board. Look for problems to be solved and be a participant in finding solutions. I trust that none of you will be sideline complainers. There is a lot of Bruin pride in our hearts today, and rightly so. Students, you are the very best investment this community makes. Let me say that again. You are the very best investment this community makes. And you are beautiful, you are compassionate, you are awesome. As you move forward with your lives, it is our hope that you find a way uniquely yours to serve your communities, and that this service will bring you joy and deep satisfaction throughout your life. Thank you.
Please stand. Oh, just the first row stand. Okay, sorry. Will the first row of graduates please stand? Okay. And
Christensen, Isabella Lewis, Rebecca Karen Page, Sharika Vasquez Baggerville, Jennifer Ball, Hope Bates, Brianna Winters, Anson Wood, Janessa Myers, Jonathan Hyatt, Jack Johnson, Dagny Dorian, Jess Evans, Austin Sunday, Eric Zinn, Adrian Jessica Parker, Tammy Teal, Fiona Leach, Brooke Bradshaw, Donnell Iguana, Curtis Rose, Andrew Brown, Elizabeth Romero, Megan Britton, Karina Christensen, Alyssa Dunn, Matthew Hare, Kevin Kewen, Sergio Jesus Gonzalez, Nicole Jacques, Hunter Nelson, Nicholas Bryant, Parker Weeks, Nicholas Anderson, Slade Lilhoff, Darren Draper, Jaron Hartley, Haley West, Castera McNiven, Mildred Barnaby, Alida Allen, Gabriel Palmer, Colton Swanson, Madison Myers, Emily Ferreira, Gunnar Johnson, Chloe Stevens, Andrew Ruano, Aaron Santo, Lance Meyer, Caitlin Jeffries, Mackenzie Fay, Allison Seacrest, Lindsay Green, Isabella Henderson, Aubrey Miller, Elizabeth Rush, Jeremy Frame, Abigail Wilson, Ignacia Lagulia, Sophia Birmingham, Braden Myers, Issa Bell, Mackenzie Benson, Celestina Mendoza, Benjamin Tibble, Noah Pereira, Morgan Hatch, Caitlin Gentry, Kaden Canterio, Hezekiah Miles, Ethan Boone, Ross Jarman, Harrison Gusson, Ryan McKittrick, Michael McKittrick, Spencer Steele, Jesse Cameron, Drew Cameron, Brandon Stone, Kayla Steve, Wyatt Lane, Hannah Coleman, Elizabeth Mikulski, Savannah Cheney, Shannon Willis, Jonathan Gonzalez, Emily Casperson, Lisa Judd, Nicholas Hopkins, Seth Umansky, Ruben Salazar, Priscilla Mazariegos. Miley Leonardo. Jeffrey Jolly. Aubrey Witt. Gabriel Bennett. Taylor Anderson. Landon Kuhn. Tanner Strong. Brooklyn Wilson. Zoe Weisenberg. Camila Barney. Savannah Evanson. Cameron Galbraith. Esty Stewart. Isabella Beaton. Brinley Farrow. Isabella Bonsconi. Brian Bell. Ethan Bennett. Grayson Merchant. Matthew Weller. Teos Browning Guy. Jacob Carlson. Luis Wall. Aaron Casper. Kennedy Cameron. Antonio Kolar. Dave West. Raymond Bird. Kevin Buckler. Ethan Hare. Drake Christensen. Tyler DeWort. Kenneth Sintow. Jacob Johnson. Carter Heidemann. Austin Tuttle. Joseph Barney. Cole Hendrickson. Antonio Bora Parra. Cody Daly. Danielle Paxton. Rosenberg Cabrera. Adam Bean. Annalise Kinney. Shiloh Miller. David Hurst. Maverick Graham. Brandon Van Wagner. Santos Torres. Brandon Gonzalez Alcazar. Pablo Trail. Angel Valdez Reyes. Daisy Ortiz. Mariana Escala Luna. Emily Miranda. Tiffany Rivas. Emma Green. Natalie Werbach. Eric Guzman. Paul Vargas. Alejandro Huerta. Kevin Gabriel Ortega. Giovanna Villegas. Aaron Barrera. Derek Hiller. Homero Cano Meza. Adelie Crosby. Cheyenne Takamukafili. Joshua Wesley. Wayne Baxter MacArthur. Jaden Green. Rachel Miller. Ryan Johnson. Kyle Perez. Jared Workman. Jeffrey Windsor. Armando Mendoza. Roger Torres. Smith. Jessica Boston. Bridget McGuire. Claudia Hernandez. Jace Hardy. Madeline Hernandez. Leah Whitaker. Savannah Ariel Leanne. Madison Kirk. Shirley Campbell. Robert Lawrence. Chelsea Altamira. Colin Peterson. Ethan Garfield. Kate Story. Brett Story. Reginald Hayes II. Harvey Sitchell. Isaac Zelaya. Yafit Ortiz. Madison Ash. Watson Rodriguez. Lisa Jensen. Jaden Tovar. Luis Herrera. Amanda Bryan. Eric Ariano. Joshua Rasmussen. Ashley Dodds. Morgan Holdaway. Kennedy Thurston. Esmeralda Barajas. Ashley Barney. Juan Carrillo. Joan Guerrero Santander. Jesus Camilo Lopez. Jesus Sandoval Ramirez. Vanessa Garcia. Sarah Green. Allison Medina. Nancy Castaneda. Oni Barragan. Melanie Hoppersmith. Corinne Thompson. Anna Sadie. Noah Smith. Dustin Artaza. Haley Curtis. Daniel Tesley. Elizabeth Stanley. Matea Stubbs. Carlo Jose Montero. Regina Esquilo. Alejandra Morales. Jose Mondragon San Martin. Steven Montero. Marlon Riviera Martinez. Aaron Cantero. Paige Canali. Tanner Kinsley. Taylor Atwood. Tyler Atwood. Alexander Stewart. Alicia Arkilla Ruano. Isaac Mika. Jared Wise. Hayden Wright. Brinley White. Daniela Chung. Nicole Laird. Jonathan Hall. Daniel Powell. Maria Hagelsberg. Ashley Hudville. Jessica Schmidt. Jose Rogeras. Samuel Sawyer. Hayden Seller, Kayla Strickland, Jerome Peretti, Elu Pantoya Gonzalez, Jessica Monroy Gomez, Alejandra Serrano, Ana Figueredo, Sabrina Hernandez, Lucas Martinson, Cornelius Van Legen, Eleanor Frost, Kaylee Shipman, Mercedes Davis, Christina Harrell, Brandon Anderson, Neil Haig, Rachel Golightly, Savannah Tucker, Harry Kim, Faith Harwood, Dylan Hable, Evelyn Telford, Carson Cohen, Ryan Liggett, James Keane, Madison Griffith, Jonathan Beaushore, Denise Lee, Jonathan Fletcher, Brian Guerrero, Kimberly Juarez Solis, Madeline Carter, Caleb Roquette, Mackenzie Williams, Aurelia Lozano, Maria Pereira, Ethan Lozano, Miguel Rabinon, Juan Ramirez, Fernando Tiniero, Angela Tapia Paredes, Vanessa Hahn, Shirley Smith, Kira Copeland, Kyrie Lunsford, Gabriela Mendoza Aguero, Natalie Vargas, Belinda, Benjamin Parkhurst, McBride Stewart, McKendrick Stewart, James Howley, Camden Greenwood, Riley Johnson, Dylan Knapp, Dallin Knapp, Alma Johnston, David Herring, Kevin Cardenas, Danya Stafford, President Crane, Hinkley Calaboa, Jamil Zimmerman, Elizabeth Vogel, Ruth Patterson, Amy Woodall, Nicole Heyer, Eileen Olson, Benjamin Williams, Lily Jones, Terrence Seawald, Sarah Cody, Miguel Russ, Kaylee Hope, Mackenzie Moore, Savannah Randall, Mary Brown, Kevin Paul, Sean Roses, Liliana Stave, Brian Hershey, Brooke Preston, Sophia Glenn, Zachary Earl, Jake Stroud, Ellie Curtis, Keely Clark, Kelsey Lindley. Karina Miyazawa. Dawson Ransom. Emma Newby. Rebecca Hayward.
We will now ask Zachary Earl, Senior Class Vice President, to present the Mountain View Class of 2019, after which the Chamber Choir, directed by Brett Taylor, will sing Blessing in the Leaving, arranged by Susan Labar. We will then watch the farewell video by Brooke Preston, Senior Class Historian. Zach Earl.
Congratulations on receiving your diplomas. Now, will the class of 2019 please rise? Please move your tassel from the right to the left. Congratulations, you are now all official graduates of Mountain View High School. Thank you.
starts at 10:30 p.m. at Mountain View High School. If you didn't get a ticket, you can pay $40 at the door. Before we conclude the 2019 graduation ceremony for Mountain View High School, I would like to say it has been a dream come true being able to serve all of you. I can't tell you how much you all mean to me and how sad I am to leave my routine of seeing all my favorite people every day. But I'm so excited to see what the future holds for all of us. Like Elizabeth said, we're off to change the world, so keep rising up, Bruins. Thank you for changing my world. I love you, friends.
Adding on to what Rebecca has said, I just want to let you guys know that it has been such a privilege serving you. You really do learn to love those who you serve, and I love my Bruin family so very much. And I want to say thank you for raising me up this year and giving me so many reasons to smile. You guys have such great futures ahead of you. And we'd like to ask that the audience please remain in your seats as the graduates exit the building. Graduates will exit from the west side and can meet you on the north side of the Marriott Center near the parking lot. Graduates, that's just right up here and to the right. Thank you all.
As tradition, at any Mountain View event, seniors and guests, please stand and join us one last time in singing the Mountain View High School song.